Hey, Black Americans, why are we boycotting the Africans? I just ran across a post, and it's given we're trying to show them who's boss. I don't really, can somebody fill me in? This doesn't feel productive. Like, can somebody?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So there's been a lot of talk online about boycotting African braiding shops, and the reason behind it isn't even crystal clear. Some people say it started because of a backlash over the Essence Festival, while others are saying that it's tied to something that happened in an African braiding shop. Either way, the conversation has now turned into a call for people to boycott African-owned businesses, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Anyways, let's watch some clips and then I'll share my thoughts.
I was off this app for 24 hours and I came back and we were boycotting Africans. What did we do? Boycotting our braiding shops. Our food is suddenly nasty. What is going on? What did we do? Okay. Like, no tea, no shade, but how all the businesses that clearly say they don't like y'all, they don't mess with y'all still support. But we the one y'all want to boycott? Deadass? We? Girl.
I'm making this video because I wanted to support Shaya's Shelf, who is promoting a protest for August 1st. Complete blackout on African braiding shops, restaurants, and stores, right? I'm absolutely here for this. I'm showing my support because I do this in my everyday life. I do not shop with the Africans. Ain't no African ever braided my hair, put their hands on my head, or none of that.
The level of idiocy we've just observed needs to be studied because, wow, isn't this embarrassing? Isn't this embarrassing? First off, all Africans aren't the same. Africa's a huge continent. And second off, what is this boycott even doing? What is the reasoning behind it?
Wait a minute. So y'all are telling me starting August 1st, y'all are gonna boycott African businesses? I don't understand where the disconnect happened. I thought we was cool. Back in the early 2000s, y'all was calling us African booty scratchers, making fun of us for speaking a different language and just being different in general, never really included us. And then here comes the 2010s and shit, and y'all are dripped out in dashikis, taking 23andMe, Ancestry tests, talk about I'm half Nigerian, don't know shit about the culture, but y'all wanted to be woke and hop on this African trend so bad for what? Just for y'all to take that shit away in the 2020s? And make it make sense. Y'all are gonna complain about going to Shayla, paying $350 for some large knotless braids, and she gonna charge you half of the deposit, and if you don't pay that shit on time, she gonna charge you another $10 just because you didn't pay for that shit on time. And y'all are gonna boycott the African braiding shops. Them motherfuckers didn't do shit to you. They do your hair in a fast and cheap manner, but y'all gonna boycott them for what? I wanna make this very clear. Africa is a fucking continent with 54 countries, and I'm tired of y'all bitches getting that wrong because y'all coming on here sounding dumb, stupid, and broke on some real shit. These people come all the way across the Atlantic Ocean to start a new life, don't know the language, don't know the tradition, don't know shit, get it out the mud, the real definition of getting it out the mud, and y'all gonna boycott them because y'all mad that fufu don't got flavor. Is that what it is? I don't know where this is stemming from. And this is why the Black African American community will always have the crabs in the bucket mentality, because we're doing stupid shit like this over some little shit, when this should be the time where we're really uniting together. We have a whole ass country against us, a whole ass administration against us. The last thing we need is to be against each other. But y'all want to boycott African businesses. Stupidness.
The boycott the Africans argument, debacle, whatever you want to call it, is so exhausting. And also, does anyone feel like it has an air of embarrassment to it? One, what other race is infighting like this? And then two, it kind of feels like hanging your dirty laundry to dry, where other races are probably looking at us like, oh God, here they go again, every 6 months like clockwork. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I'm like, why does this happen every 6 months like clockwork? We get diaspora wars. And honestly, it's so sad to observe, because I did hear read something somewhere where somebody was like, we've all already lost because these diaspora wars happen in English. And I was like, touche. And on top of that, it's like, we would be so much better for it, so much more powerful as a race if all Black people could just unite. Imagine that. Imagine how much we could take over. But no, we got diaspora wars and boycott the Africans.
We ain't boycotting African fucking businesses. What the fuck is wrong? What is going on here, fam? We ain't boycotting no fucking African businesses. Not in America. Not when we got all these other motherfuckers stacked against us that we need to be fighting. You know, when you start boycotting somebody, that's when you have exhausted the possibility of having a fucking conversation. When was the last time you sat down and tried to have a conversation with another individual on this diaspora? I mean, boycotting each other. Fuck out of here. That's fucking stupid. And I don't give a fuck who came up with the stupid ass idea. You're a jackass for it. Y'all need to fucking understand the difference between everyday black people and fucking black capitalists. Do you know what this really boils down to? A fucking marketing fail. The goddamn owner, CEO of Essence Magazine, that was a huge motherfucking fail. That woman don't fucking know you. None of you. No, and it doesn't matter where the fuck you come from. She wants your attention so she can market to you. What does that have to do with the sister that braids your motherfucking hair and keeps you looking tight and right every goddamn weekend? With your pop-ins and shit. Get the fuck out of here. If somebody tells you to turn your fire on one of your own, that motherfucker don't mean you no fucking good at all. If you have gotten to the point where you are boycotting someone on this diaspora, well, by all motherfucking means, let's have a sit down and talk that shit out first. Okay? But that means that you have tried every other motherfucking thing, and we deserve to give each other every fucking opportunity. You give it to the goddamn white man. So if you're boycotting, that means you've exhausted all other possibilities, and I don't see that here. So let's get our shit together. Stop fucking fighting amongst us. There's too many of them out there waiting for us to take each other out so they can come and clean up. Now get it the fuck together.
I came purposely looking like this. Because when I say I'm going to get my hair done, box braids, y'all can go ahead and boycott the African braiding shops anyway, because all y'all be getting is knotless anyway. Let us real braider, hair, let us go get our real braids, box braids, bohemian box braids, waterway, all that. All y'all get is knotless. Go to your homegirl up the street and get them done then. And then don't have the nerve to live in Georgia because all of the tire shops on the south side, east side is owned by Africans. So y'all, good luck on that. What are you going to do when you break down and you need a tire? You're not going to go to the Africans? Call Midas. Oh, better yet, call AAA. Wait, a lot of y'all don't got that. Make it make sense. Y'all are banning or boycotting an entire continent of people. Back to school coming.
So here's the thing. A lot of people don't even seem to know why this boycott is happening, right? Some people are saying it's because Essence, which is a Black American festival that celebrates African American culture, was sold and is now too African, which has people feeling like their culture is being erased, right? Others are, pointing to incidents in certain braiding shops, but now somehow it's turned into a much bigger "we're not spending money at African shops" movement. And I mean, Africa is a whole continent, right? 54 countries, hundreds of cultures. How do you even decide to boycott an entire continent for something that isn't even clear? Right? And on top of that, I've seen people saying things like, oh, African food is trash, or that Africans think that they're better than African Americans. And honestly, this is just, it just feels like misplaced anger, right? If there's an issue with Essence or a specific business, shouldn't the energy be directed there? Right? I mean, why punish all African braiding shops, right? Most of which had nothing to even do with any of this. It just doesn't make any sense if you ask me.
Black America, don't piss me off, because this is what y'all doing. Y'all pissing me off and y'all embarrassing yourselves. And y'all do not fight in front of company. I'm so sick of this whole black on black war that y'all going on due to this Essence Fest mess. Okay, it's embarrassing and y'all need to stop. This is 2025. We are over here resting. We are trying to mind our business, drink our water, make our money, and be one together. But y'all want to sit up here. The blacks and the Africans want to be fighting and arguing over stuff. And at this point, I'm not even sure if it's the Africans. I feel like it's just the black folks. So we're going to talk about this today. So there's this one content creator. Her name is Tabitha on here. So I was watching one of her videos a few minutes ago, and she was talking about with the Essence Fest, like the leaders or the, you know, the head people in charge, the CEO, she's a Kenyan, another guy that's really influential, he's Nigerian. And basically she's just making this video like the Nigerians or the Africans are trying to basically like steal the money, take over Essence, take over the magazine, steal our culture, things of that nature. She was talking about how at the Essence Festival, they had this whole thing with jollof rice versus jambalaya. They had a lot of like Caribbean and African themes and stuff like that. And basically just trying to make it seem or get the point across or get her point across that they were trying to diminish the African American culture and scene at the Essence Fest this year. And there were so many people in the comments. The comments is what really got me, talking about, you know, African people are trying to colonize the blacks and African people don't like black people and we need to boycott Essence, so no one's going to Essence anymore. Essence is partnered with Target and we're boycotting. And it was just a field of hatred is really what I would call it. And when you're sitting up saying that you're going to boycott a black festival that brings in so many people, that brings black people together, that brings a lot of people into the city, it brings in money into New Orleans, which is a majority black city, then what's going to happen when people stop coming? They lose money, people stop going, and then we're going to be fussing and arguing, talking about there's nothing for black people for us to celebrate and da-da-da-da. We don't have nothing. We can't have nothing because you're trying to tear it up. You're trying to boycott it. You're talking about you don't want to go to it. Then we have these people talking about, okay, the whole Essence Fest, they had this Caribbean vibe, this African vibe. They had no New Orleans vendors and all this and that. That's a lie. They had New Orleans vendors. They had a lot of black New Orleans people represented. They had a lot of black content creators out there. They had a lot of black performers out there. It was highly black. It was highly African American. So I don't understand. You're fussing about they had a whole jollof rice versus jambalaya, and people took offense to that. But anybody get on social media, you see all black people eating jollof rice. You see all black people eating fufu and soup and egusi soup. So what's the problem? What is the problem of us marrying our cultures together? People in those comments talking about, because the Africans are trying to take our culture. What culture are they trying to take? Do you not understand that our black culture derived from African culture? We are African. What's the problem? And see, this is the reason why a lot of times we can't excel as a people, is because we're so busy fighting each other, but we are not truly pointing the fingers at who's responsible for all this. Why are we divided? Why is the diaspora divided? Why are we even over here and not over there where we came from? And in this time where so much stuff is going on in the government, so much stuff is happening, so many people are losing health care and insurance and just money and benefits and things like that. So many integral things are being torn down, money being taken away from people. And why are we fighting each other? Can we stop and pause and think and see, what are we doing here? Why are we all on the internet tearing each other down, talking about some African booty scratchers, and they're trying to colonize us, and we gotta stay away from them and have our own. So we're separate. Basically, we need to separate ourselves from each other, fight each other, but then also be the victims of what's going on around us in this political atmosphere. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And then, you know, people in the comments talking about, oh, because we're being accused of being xenophobic because we have questions, we have concerns. But what is it? If it's not xenophobia, then what is it? What is such the big deal of listening to some African music or eating some African food that's similar to what y'all eat? Jambalaya came from jollof rice. Gumbo, okra gumbo came from okra soup out of West Africa. Bounce music came from African music, the masquerades. Look it up. Like, y'all really like pee-popping, twerking, that came from African dances. We're all one. We're all one. That's what we have to understand. It don't matter if you African, if you Jamaican, if you Dominican. We're all one. We all have a common ancestor. We all have so many similarities. What's the problem? And they wonder why people can't elevate. Certain people can't elevate. Certain people can't get out of stuff. And then when we don't have nothing, then it's a problem. Then it's the man. No, it's you. It's y'all. Y'all need to get it together.
I don't know what's happening in the TikTok universe. I don't know what's happening in the social media universe. But in the real world, I'm African American. I'm black. Okay? Whichever way you want to say it, whatever way you want to talk it. Why is it that there's a whole war raging on social media between Africans and African Americans or Black Americans, however you want to call yourself? At the end of the day, this seemed like some real tactics that happened a long time ago. Like, if you know your history from the 60s and 70s, you know that once upon a time there was a whole section of us that was like, we're going to go back to Africa. And just not too long ago, Africa was like, yo, you can get dual citizenship if you want to go blah, blah, blah. And let's not sit here and forget about the propaganda. Once upon a time, they told us that Africa was broke. It was ugly. It was disastrous. They had the little commercials on there talking about you can feed a child in Africa. Everybody over here was calling people African booty scratchers. Yes, I remember that time. That was not something that you wanted to be called. And then let's not talk about what they were showing them over there about us. They were like, these people over here are poor, they're ugly, they have no culture, they're lazy, blah, 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 blah. So they turned both of us against each other. So when we started to really meet each other, we didn't like each other. Everybody had this preconceived notion. And now I'm sitting back watching in 2025, y'all are fighting? Really? We are fighting to just be called black and not African Americans, to have our culture separated, knowing that our cultures are really intertwined? I'm not saying that Black Americans don't have a culture. We clearly do. We took lemons and made lemonades. We took what we were supposed to and we made a whole bunch, but we're not going to sit here and act like our ancestors are not the same. Our great ancestors, yes, some of them were already here, but we're not going to act like everything didn't start in Africa. Okay? You don't have to call yourself African American. You can trace your lineage all the way back to Africa like most of the world. We just sat here and praised the movie Sinners for the intersection of music that he did in that movie to tell where it came from. How did we get here and how we continue to create a culture? Why are we trying to separate ourselves so much? The separate but equal is not what we should be doing with our own kind. We are stronger when everybody, black, brown, stands together. What needs to happen is a conversation. A critical criticism is okay. A real conversation needs to be had. That's okay. There needs to be some type of therapy in between Africans and African Americans, because there needs to be a bridge that is gapped. There needs to be a conversation that should be had. There's some healing that should be happening. I remember all the way back reading stories about like the 70s and the 60s where there used to be conversations about getting back to our roots, wearing our afros, wearing the dashikis. There's a whole bunch of us that's Pan-Africanism. There's a whole bunch of us that's woke. There's a whole bunch of us that's learning consciousness, that's understanding how this world works and how they try to separate us and break us. Like I said, there are people on here talking about we need to boycott the African braiders. Okay, I'm not going to say that that's wrong, because some of them need to be shown that, y'all, you can't talk about us and can't do X, Y, and Z to us, and we not gonna do nothing back. But before we have that conversation, we need to have the conversation about, I don't know, the Koreans, Vietnamese, Asians who took over the black market of hair, you know, getting our nails done. We sit here and get disrespected about them while they talk their own language, and we just sitting here like la 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 la, getting our nails done. Like, If y'all want to ban something, if y'all want to block something, if y'all want to do something, y'all need to go there first. Okay? But really, I understand what happened with Essence Fest. I completely understand. It should have been black culture. We have a culture. African Americans have a culture. But the fact that y'all trying to take the African out of it is crazy. Look at us. Look at them. We have different cultures because we live in different areas, but look at the size of Africa. Half of us are trying to get over there at least one time in our life. Yes, they do not treat each other the same way. Africans don't even treat Africans with as much respect. We don't treat ourselves with that much respect. What is happening here? What is happening here? A conversation needs to be had. There needs to be some type of groundbreaking conversation instead of just like, y'all said this and we said that and da-da-da-da-da and this is how we feel. Like there gotta be some type of mediation in between so that we can understand where the disconnect is and mend it. Because right now I feel like this is all war tactics. Breaking up all the people. We are together. We are supposed to be together. Caribbeans, Haitians, everybody that has some type of black descendant, some type of African descendants, we should be together. I really feel like we should be working together to make this world a better place. Because let's be real. If we took all the resources that like Africa gives us or they're stolen from, if they took all that crap, we'll be messed up over here. We have some resources, but we'll be messed up over here. Let's not play. Let's not play. Like, let's not play. Some people were like, yeah, we don't have their food. Some people talk down on the soul food. Yes. Some of us talk down on our soul food. Some people talk about our clothes. Some of us talk about our clothes. Some people talk about our hair. Some of us talk about our hair. I don't know about y'all, but I'm pretty sure a lot of our hairstyles came from the diaspora. We didn't bring that shit over here. Like, that didn't just pop up in our brain and was like, this is how we do it. We learned that from great grandma. You know what I'm saying? So I really feel like this is stupid. We learned to make do with what we had, even if we took slavery out of it. Kings, queens, princesses, around the whole world, separated, moved. Let's not sit here and act like we don't have a whole history where Africa was beat out of us, killed out of us, destroyed from us. And even like our native bloods, destroyed, killed. Like, what? What is this conversation? What is happening right now? I really feel like a lot of y'all are bots. Because this can't be true. This can't be repeating itself. History is literally repeating itself. We already had that whole struggle. Like back in the 50s and the 40s, when we were over here trying so hard to be white or trying so hard to have our own community, when Africans started to come over here, like immigrate over here, we gave them a hard time because that's why we were taught. They gave us a hard time because that's how they was taught. Like, it's all propaganda. I can really go into conversations about this all day long. Yes, there's a conversation that needs to be had. Yes, there are some misconceptions that need to be fixed. Yes, a lot of this stuff is misunderstood. A lot of it needs to be talked about. And I need like the Caribbeans, the Haitians, I need like the Africans. The world is so big. The indigenous, I need all y'all to get together and we need to have a conversation to figure out where the breakage is. What's the misconception? We need to fix it. Because as of right now in 2025, the last thing we need to do is really like, be fighting with each other or destroying each other. I don't know about y'all, but my whole life I've always went to like the African festivals. I know that a lot of our dance moves come from them. I know a lot of our rap styles and rhythms and blues come from them. I know we have our own. But we're not going to sit here and act like the spiritual properties of it all doesn't come from the ancestors. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? There needs to be a conversation. There needs to be some type of fickage, but this ain't it. And if TikTok is supposed to be the bridge, that gaps, the gap that bridges is all whatever, then we need to do something else. But this ain't it. Just coming on here and talking about, well, you African booty scratchers, and when y'all braid hair, and we did this, and this is American culture, and blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, we need to come at each other differently, because the way that we've been coming at each other for years is crazy work. Okay, it is. It really is. It's diabolical even. We need to figure out a way that we can have real conversations and make it. Y'all remember that episode from A Different World, where they were all fighting to help Africans, children? I guarantee you, in real life, they didn't get none of that money. None of it. Like, how much did we Americans give to the people in Africa just to realize that they ain't getting none of that. We praise people like Nelson Mandela. Like, what is happening? There's people literally trying to separate themselves from Africa. Like, we ain't never been over there. We don't know people. What are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? There's a whole generation of us from the 80s and the 90s that heard nothing about, Black Panthers, Pan-Africanism, getting back to our roots, blah, 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 blah. That, in 2025, now we're just like, yeah, nah, fuck them. What? That is crazy. It's I don't know about y'all, but a conversation needs to be had because, yes, African Americans have their own culture, but it's definitely based within some African culture. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. We may do what we had and we made it our own, definitely. But we can't sit here and act like we're really that separated. We're really not. We're really not, and we shouldn't be. We should be able to appreciate each other, acknowledge each other, and, understand each other's culture and move on. And not assault each other and not be, evil to each other. That's just how I feel. I really feel like we should be able to connect.
Oh, I don't like African food. Who asked for your opinion? My sister, come to the front. Come here. Who asked you? Nobody did. Nobody invited you to go eat African food. Nobody asked you to go eat African food. Nobody wants you to go eat African food. And by the way, just so you know, there is more than 50 countries. There's 54 countries in Africa, and in those countries there are tribes, and those tribes have their own different types of food. We didn't ask for your opinion. We don't need your validation. Let me use my big girl words. We don't need your validation. Hey, we don't need you. Okay. It's time for my brothers, African brothers and sisters. Let's stand up for ourselves. We're not gonna let you and your kids dominate us anymore.
And you know what I'm gonna say? What don't nobody want to say? We don't eat African food like that. African food ain't good. Black people eat Jamaican food. Hell, we'll eat Indian food, Chinese food before we go buy African.
If a particular business did something to you that you don't agree with, call them out and we'll hold them accountable. Okay? However, choosing to punish all business owners because of one bad experience is not okay. Okay, many of these businesses are how they feed their family, both here and abroad. And like, guys, I'm trying to be like really careful of my words because I'm so upset about this situation. And as someone whose mother used to braid hair prior to now being in the healthcare field, I have seen with my own two eyes, okay? This is not like someone told me about it. No, I have seen it for myself where customers have ran out of the shops after receiving services. So now you're mad that they're asking for deposits or asking to be paid in full or halfway through a service. If you don't agree with the rule, go somewhere else. Okay, like it's not by force for you to eat at a particular African restaurant, for you to shop at a particular African mini market. You don't like their rule, take your money somewhere else. And, I'm seeing video clippings of, Africans don't like Black Americans and, they come to this country thinking they're all that and, they don't respect the Black dollar, so they need to feel it. Again, who are you speaking about? Do not categorize everyone, because that is not how every single African person is. The same way when people say, Black people are lazy. No, absolutely not. Because that's not how every Black person, like, do you guys see, like, it starts so small, but then you get so deep, okay? And you guys are, like, opening old wounds. And when I say you guys, like, I'm speaking first, like, mainly about the person that started this. And I'm not going to tag their page because they don't deserve that from me. But those that are adding fuel to the fire, you really need to stop. Because we have more in common and more likeness than things that differs between us. Okay? And it may start off as this and go to something way bigger. But it's not okay to generalize. If you had a bad experience at a particular hair braiding shop, call them out. And even some of those hair braiding shop clippings that I'm seeing that people are like tagging and posting, some of those customers are wrong. some of those customers are like, let's be honest about it. And in many of the videos, you can tell that they're trying to go viral and they're looking for a moment because the hair braider will try to like rectify the situation or, you know, fix whatever issue that they're having. And they'll just start cursing and you like, no, that's not okay. And again, I'm trying to be very careful of, you know, my word choice and everything, but I don't think it's okay to, you know, try to punish every African business owner for one bad experience. It doesn't make sense to me. And again, it's xenophobic.
I think that there needs to be more clarity before anyone jumps on a boycott that might just divide people even more. Right, anyways, credit to all the creators featured in this video, and thank you for tapping in when you saw this video. Thank you so much. I don't take it for granted. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and please let me know what you think. Does this boycott make sense, or is the frustration being pointed in the wrong direction? I mean, that's what I think, right? Anyways, let me know in the comments if you agree.